Good afternoon. My name is Michaela Chapowski. I am currently enrolled at Chattahoochee Tech. I am taking the class Curriculum Assessment, and this will be my summer semester in 2024. And this is going to be my final presentation for the class. First, I just want to start it with my purpose statement, really how I found my purpose in education revolved around me growing up and having a couple years when it came to being in an education environment. We'll just keep it PG, and let's just say that I had a couple of teachers that wouldn't keep their hands to themselves, and because of that, I just really found a hard way connecting with anyone and who I could trust. And because of that, I really just found my purpose in education and having a passion because I want to give every child who comes through my class the best care in the childhood that I wish I could have had. So first I want to start with gross motor domain. And for this domain, I took a photo of 4-year-olds running around outside on the playground. A couple of running notes that I took was that there were 4 children running outside. The weather was pretty rainy and cloudy. There was 3 boys and 1 girl in this group, and the little boy in the front wearing the pink was at the front of the line, and that the 4 children were using the gross motor skills to be able to run. Some of the GELS indicators for this that I would use for their age would be that they act PDM 3.3a, which is acts and moves with a purpose and recognizes differences in direction, distance, and location with some adult assistance, and then PDM 5.3b, which demonstrates coordination and balance, which you can just see being able to run and do those kinds of things. And the assessment tool that I would do for this would be a rubric. The 2 center materials that I would add to this would be stepping stones and kickballs. And I would say that the stepping stools would be for the kids to practice balance and coordination and be able to enhance those gross motor skills, and the kickball would help with hand-eye coordination. The next domain that I did was fine motor, and in this picture I took a picture of 2 little girls in their art center. The running notes that I got from this would be that there were the 2 girls in the center, that the girl at the top of the picture is using the static tripod grip to hold her color pencil, and that the girl on the right is using the fisted grip to hold her pencil. The girl at the top is also using her right hand to hold, and the girl on the top is using her right hand to hold the color pencil, whereas the little girl on the right is using her left hand, and that these 2 girls are using fine motor skills to also hold that color pencil. The 2 GELS indicators that I would use for this would be CLL 9.3b, which uses writing tools with some adult guidance, and PDM 6.3b uses hand-eye coordination to manipulate smaller objects with increasing control. And the assessment tool that I would use for this would be the checklist, and I would also just make sure that to note, the ages of the kids, because one of the little girls on there that was using the fisted grip, she should be able to hold her pencil a different way, and it might be showing that she might be behind in that center and domain that she should maybe work on a little bit more to see if she should start being able to hold her grip a little bit better. The 2 center materials I would have used for this would be pencil grips and beads and string, and that would be for the pencil grips would be for the children can get the feeling of holding a pencil correctly, and I would use the beads and string to let the child practice more of their fine motor skills and hand-eye coordination by putting the bead through the string. The next domain that I did was cognitive. In this one, I took a photo of a little girl who was about 4.5 drawing a picture or coloring in a picture. The running notes that I did on this is that the little girl was coloring in the letter S. The child is using red to color in the letter S. The child has used 6 colors in their photo, and the child is staying within the lines, which is a great observation for her age, and that the child is holding the color pencil using the static tripod grip, which is also really good for her age. The JAWS indicator that I would do for this would be PDM 6.4C, which is being able to perform more complex fine motor tasks with accuracy up to 50% of the time, which she was doing, being able to stay in the lines. And a PL 3.3B, which is wants to complete activities and do them well, which you can also say that she was doing with being able not just to scribble all over the paper. She had a very end point where she wanted to color in each one. The 2 center materials that I would do for this domain would be puzzles and memory cards. I said this because the puzzle can teach children to strategize, practice spatial awareness and enhance the children's problem-solving skills. And I would use the memory cards to be able to enhance the child's memory retention and also enhance their concentrating skills. The next domain that I did was language. And the photo that I took was actually my daughter and us doing a little bedtime story. But you can see that for the running notes that the little girl in the picture is reading a book and that she is wearing her pajamas. The girl in the picture is making a sad face. The child in the story is also crying, and that the girl is using fine motor skills to hold the pages of the book. The JAWS indicator that I did for this was CLL 3.3B, which is communicates feelings using nonverbal gestures and actions, hence why she was doing the sad face to show that the little boy was also sad and showing empathy for him. The next one I did was CLL 8.3C, which is independently holds a book right side up and turns pages from left to right, which you can see that she was doing in that photo. And the assessment tool that I would do for this one would be a rating scale. The 2 center materials that I would add to this are language flashcards and the song Bear Hunt. And I would do this by having using the flashcards to individually work with the child to see if they could know what is on the flashcard and be able to clearly say what was on the flashcard. And then I would use the song Bear Hunt to let the class listen to the song and act out what the song is saying. The next domain that I did was social emotional. In this picture, I was in a class and this little 2-year-old girl was really just having a hard time catching her breath and needed her big brother to help her, just comfort her. And some of the running notes that I did was that there is a little girl and a boy in this picture, that the little girl is sitting on an adult's lap. The little boy is standing beside her. And the little boy also has his hand on the girl's back, and that the boy is trying to comfort her. The JAWS indicators for this, I would do SED 5.4D. This is for the little boy. He is 4 years old. And this shows emerging empathy and understanding of peers by attempting to comfort and help, which you can just see clearly in that photo. That's what he was trying to do for his little sister. And the second one that I did was more for her. She just turned 2 in the very beginning of July. And this is SED 4.2C, and this shows nonverbal affections to familiar adults, and that would just be that she wanted to know that she wanted to sit on the teacher's lap and be able just to say that, not be able to say, but just to show that she needed some help and comforting. And the assessment tool that I used was a Ansiddle record. The two center materials that I would do for this are a snuggle buddy, and that specifically was weighted, and a motion chart. And I would use the snuggle buddy for a child that needed a little extra comfort in a time of need. And I would use the emotion chart in a little cozy corner to show that the children have a way of recognizing what emotion they're feeling. The last domain that I did was self-help. And for this one, I took a photo of my child putting her socks on. In the photo, you can see that she is putting her socks on. In the picture, the girl is putting on the left sock. The girl has put on her right sock correctly. The girl is using fine motor skills to put on her socks, and the girl in the picture is doing this task independently. The two GELS indicator that I would do for this is PDM 1.3E, which attends to personal health needs and self-care needs independently, and SED 1.3D, which shows emerging sense of independence in his or her own choices. And the assessment tool that I would do for this is a case study. The two center materials that I would do for this would be a toothbrush, the toothbrush like slash teeth toy, and left and right stickers for shoes. And I said this so that the teacher could show not only how to use a toothbrush independently, but also show the practice of healthy choices. And then I would use the left and right stickers for shoes, or even just socks too, just so that they could know which foot to put their socks and shoes on and be able to do that task independently. And lastly, this is just my reference page on all the references and websites that I use for each of those photos. And then the last one I did was for my GELS indicator, and that's GELS decal. Thank you. I hope you guys have a good rest of your day.